Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel that is Science Unlocked, and today we will going to continue with our topic of nutrition in animals. We have already discussed the basic details of the topic and about the processes involved in this whole chapter, but now we have to move into the deeper aspects of all the processes. So as I have told you earlier as well, that in this particular chapter we will be majorly talking about the digestion process of human body. So let's get started with it. Now the very first organ of the body where the digestion starts is mouth and buccal cavity. Now over here we will see that we have a different set of structures which are going to ultimately help in the process of ingestion and taking in the food. That means the process of ingestion on the whole. That means we are going to take our food from the mouth, and here there will going to be two processes which will be taking place. One is with reference to the utilization of salivary glands, where they will going to collectively secrete the saliva, which is an enzyme acting on the starch and converting into simpler sugars. So as I've told you earlier also that it will going to start from the mouth itself. So that is what we are learning over here, that these salivary glands are secreting an enzyme called saliva, which will going to ultimately help in the conversion of starch, which is a complex component, to simple sugars. Now, that is one aspect of buccal cavity or mouth. But inside buccal cavity, there is one more thing that will going to take place. That is the chewing of food, which will going to take place with the help of our teeth. Now, when we talk about the teeth in case of human body, then we will see that we have separate sockets in the gum where the teeth are aligned, and there are different set of teeth in our proper jaw system where every particular teeth will going to have a specific kind of function that it will going to perform. So as you can see here that over here we have talked about four different set of teeth. But before moving into the functions of teeth, one thing is important, that is the category of the teeth that we have is dicophyont, which means that throughout our life we will going to have two set of teeth, out of which the first primitive, or we can say the weak kind of teeth, or the infancy teeth are also there, which are also considered as milk teeth. On the other hand, what we will see that these teeth will going to fall off between the age of 6 to 8 years, and there will going to be a new set of teeth, that is the second set, which will going to be the permanent teeth. Now these permanent teeth will going to ultimately replace the milk teeth, and they will be with us till the old age. Now let's get into the details of the types of teeth and the details of the functions of these teeth. As we have seen here that we have four set of teeth, so that is what we will going to learn about, that there are in total four kinds of teeth. That is, first is the incisors, then we have canine, then we have molars and premolars. So these four set of teeth are collectively helping in the process of chewing, where the incisors, that is the middle set of teeth, which are going to be 8 in number, that thing will going to be the first set of teeth that we will be learning, and the main function for them is that it will going to help in the biting of food. So whenever you want to bite something, you will always going to take the bite from the front side of your teeth. Then the next one that we have is the canine teeth, which is most of the time used for the purpose of tearing process, because these are one of the sharpest teeth. As you can see over here as well, that they have a pointed structure, which is most of the time going to help in the process of tearing process. Next we have is the premolars. That means these are basically the set of teeth that we will going to have for tearing as well as crushing of food. So whenever we talk about the process of digestion, we say that it will going to start from the mouth itself. This is what we are referring to, that the premolars and the molars will going to collectively help in the grinding of food, so that it will going to start turning into small pieces within the mouth cavity. Now one thing is there, that is the different set of teeth that we have is always read one by one, or you can say in terms of one set at a time. Like we will be talking about half of one jaw. When we talk about the dental structure of any organism, we always say this thing, that what is the pair which is present. So we will see that in total we have incisors which are 4 in number in one jaw. So on the whole we will have 8 incisors in total. Then we have 4 canines in total, 2 on the upper jaw, 2 on the lower jaw. Then we have 4 premolars, and then we have 6 molars. So on the whole the total number becomes 32. Now one thing related with tooth is the problem of tooth decay, which is most of the time is the scenario where the outer enamel of the teeth will going to decay. It will start decaying because of the unhygienic property of the individual who is facing the problem. And when we are going to avoid brushing the teeth, and we will going to avoid keeping care of these structures that we have in the body, so what happens is that there will going to be one cavity which will actually which is actually the degradation, or you can say the removal of the enamel, weakening of the enamel, ultimately leading to the cavity. And if it goes deeper and deeper till the pulp, then in that case it becomes more and more problematic, and it has to be treated properly. Now how we can avoid it? By simply taking sure of this thing, making sure of this thing, that we will going to brush twice a day, and we will going to rinse our mouth properly once we are going to have our meal. We will try to avoid the sweetening things, because that thing leads to the increased case of tooth decay. So that is all about it. Now one important structure in case of mouth cavity or the buccal cavity we have is the structure of tongue. Now this is a fleshy muscular structure which is actually free from the front side, which also helps us in speaking and talking, having conversation. But at the back of our buccal cavity, it is attached from a base, whereas it can move in all the different set of directions. So what exactly is the role of this structure that we have, that is tongue? That it will going to help in the mixing of salivas while chewing the food, so that the breakdown of saliva, that starch can takes place properly. On the other hand, as I've told you, it is all about talking process. Now one important aspect is taste. Now with reference to tongue, we have the taste option as well. That means because of our tongue only, we have different set on the tongue which will going to help us in identifying the different taste that we are getting from the food. Now last but not the least is the swallowing of food, that it helps in swallowing the food through the uh, mouth towards the esophagus. So the next organ that we will be learning about is the esophagus, which is alternatively considered as food pipe. Now this is something which will going to run from the neck to the chest, means it is a complete tube like structure, and from this structure the food will going to move in the specific kind of motion or movement which is known as peristaltis, where there will going to be a proper movement of contraction and relaxation, which will going to help in movement of food from the throat region towards the lower part of the body, or you can say the next part of the esophagus, that is towards the stomach. Now what happens is there is one specific aspect related with this peristalsis movement or peristaltic movement. This movement actually helps in keeping the food towards the down direction only, and it prevents it from coming towards the back direction. But sometimes it happens that because of some problem in the stomach, where the body is not accepting the food, is not considering the food inside the body, it leads to the problem of vomiting, where a reverse peristaltic movement takes place, means it will going to be the reverse direction of peristaltic movement, because of which the food that we have eaten up will going to come out and will be thrown out. So that is the whole aspect related with the process of esophagus or digestion in the esophagus. So we can say that esophagus is simply a passage. It is not actually helping in the process of digestion or absorption. The next organ that we have is a bag-like structure, U-shaped structure, that is called the stomach, and it is the widest part of the alimentary canal which receives the food from esophagus, and once the processing inside the stomach will be done, it will be passed towards the small intestine. So what are the different set of functions that we will see over here? That the food coming into the stomach will going to stay here for some time, and then ultimately the inner lining of stomach will going to secrete three major things, that is mucus, hydrochloric acid, which is the HCl, and the digestive juices. The mucus will going to protect our lining of stomach from the activity of hydrochloric acid because it is a highly acidic component. Now, why do we need a highly acidic component inside the stomach cavity? Because one, it will going to help the digestive juices in the function. On the other hand, two, it will going to help in the killing of bacteria which are entering the alimentary canal along with the food. So these are the two important aspects of hydrochloric acid. Now the major digestion that we will observe in case of stomach is the digestion of protein. Now the digestive juices will going to break down the protein into smaller components that the body will going to absorb in small intestine later on. So this is all about the aspect related with half of the digestive system. Rest we will going to take up in the next class. So till then, take care and keep learning.